great win. It was a great win. Pretty complete. Oh, the offense, the defense. Jack. Nothing to complain about. Nothing at all. Jared McCann, yeah. Let's go! Ladies and gentlemen, it's a little ridiculous. Good boy. Play all the hits. Left Toronto Maple Leafs. Let me finish. How am I supposed to go to bed after watching that? I'm quite hyped. With you wherever you are, welcome to LFR. Jack Campbell back in the win column. Release the Jackin' Leafs. Release the... We'll work on it. Leafs win 6-2 over the Seattle Kraken. Hey everybody, Steve Dangle here, and welcome to another edition of LFR. I know most of you understand what that stands for, but in case this is your first time, hey, LFR means Leafs Fan Reaction. There might be some first-time viewers on account of the Seattle Kraken. It's your first time here. This is the first time the Leafs have ever played the Seattle Kraken, and it's been a long time coming. Not just because it's the first one ever, because the Seattle Kraken didn't exist, but this game was originally scheduled for December, and it got postponed. Because mumbles. And what's not to love about the Seattle Kraken? They got the spectacular jerseys, both home and away. The logo, it's so easy to overthink a logo. The building, big fan of the building. The atmosphere, the fans, the volume. Underrated? The goal horn. Very good. What's that? Oh, the team. Oh, we don't talk about it. Why? We were having a really good time, and you got to bring up the team and how they played. You want me to talk? All right, let's bring back something that I used to do and should probably get back to doing. Seattle Kraken fans, if I were you. So, stop me if you've heard this before. You've been compared to the Vegas Golden Knights basically the entirety of your existence. It's always good when that's the standard, the single most bizarre anomaly in the history of the sport, an expansion team going all the way to the Stanley Cup final. And you never know, Seattle's not mathematically out, there's still time. Realistically, you're getting a bit more of the, what we might call old school expansion treatment. No, I don't mean abandoned and sent to Winnipeg, I mean, I don't know, they're just kind of bad. There's some guys. They got guys. Guys that you can easily get behind and cheer for. Jordan Eberle? Love me some Jordan Eberle. Mark Giordano. Who doesn't love Mark Giordano? Oilers fans. But that's it! But unfortunately, they got the old school expansion team offense. The defense, meh. But that old school expansion team goaltending, which I could have never predicted, I'm serious. Like with Vegas, we're always making the betting jokes, and I think we can apply that to the Seattle Kraken. For both goalies who played in this game, they play in a lot of each other's games, Philip Grubauer and Chris Driedger, it's like the Seattle Kraken bought high on both of them. Now, I don't think Grubauer's gonna be bad forever, and I don't think Driedger is either. But they might be. They might be with you. It just might not be a fit. You see, not every expansion team gets Marc-Andre Fleury right out the gate. Or gets a sweetener to go with them. I think NHL general managers got far too much credit for how they adapted from the Vegas expansion draft to the Seattle expansion draft. Steve, how can you say that? They did so much better against Seattle and did cataclysmically against Vegas. Well, yeah, there it is. Did GMs get smarter with Seattle or just undumb? They just undid the dumb from last time. We knew what the rules were going to be for Vegas. Everyone involved knew what the rules were going to be. Nobody prepared for it. And poor Seattle, it's like you came around and they were like, what if this time we tried? Ron Francis goes, I would like a first-round pick, please. And then GMs around the league said the darndest thing, no. And then Ron Francis said, oh, okay, let me try something else that Vegas did. What if, instead of taking one bad player, you gave me two good ones? And they thought about it. But we wrote this down, we talked about this. What's the answer? No. It says here no. And I'm sorry, that's not getting smart, that's getting undumb. That is spilling a pot of coffee all over the floor, and then you grab a roll of paper towel and call yourself a home renovator. It's good that you cleaned it up, but why did you pour a pot of coffee on the floor in the first place, and why are you proud of yourself for cleaning it? There were definitely things Ron Francis and company could have done better, but their goal was to have cap space. They have it, and they're going to accrue draft picks. And most importantly, and this is the part that you're probably not going to like, the next couple drafts, there's some pretty exciting players. Like some franchise-changing players. And for the Seattle Kraken, hopefully franchise-defining players. We could talk about the disaster inaugural season of the Seattle Kraken, but if it ends with Shane Wright, we forget it all. Maybe that doesn't happen, and maybe we're 2 years in and we're still talking about Seattle not even showing a glimmer of Vegas. Connor Bedard, Matvei Michkov, Alexander Kerfoot, someone who just completely changes the face of your franchise. My advice to you, and I think I have some experience, go all in. Every player on the big team, every player in the minor leagues, all their draft picks scattered throughout major, junior, and college, and the USHL, and Europe, and all of that. Learn about the future. Look forward to the future. What prospects are doing great? What prospects have room to grow? Who's available in the upcoming draft? And one day when the Seattle Kraken win it all, it'll mean so much more to you. It'll be the best feeling in the world. I assume. I don't know. But I'm still here too, aren't I? That's how I would feel if I were you. All right, now that we're all done being nice and everything, Dave Hakstol, huh? I don't know what the broadcast was like in the States, but in Canada, we kept showing the offensive possession of the puck, and the broadcast team couldn't believe it. Dude, I couldn't believe it. Seattle had the puck way more than the Leafs did, but the shots and the scoring chances and the goals seemed to be in the Leafs' favor. Definitely the goals. That wasn't up for debate. Less than 4 minutes into the game, we begin with the second funniest possible goal. Second or third? First is undeniably Jared McCann. That would have been the funniest thing ever. First 30 seconds. Alas, it didn't happen. Justin Hall would have been really funny too. I think it's a toss-up for second and third. But Alexander Kerfoot grips it and rips it. What a snipe, and it's 1-0. His 7th of the season, his first in a long time, and a feel-good goal after only playing about 10.5 minutes and getting benched. Now, the Leafs did get scored on here, and I saw a lot of takes about whose fault it was. Justin Hall, you gotta get that puck out of there, buddy. Willie, you gotta get that puck out of there, buddy. But as the puck gets whacked back into the Leafs zone, it hits who's that Kraken player? Oh, the ref! That screws up everybody, including the Leafs, who are in the middle of a very long shift. Calle Jarnkrok comes up with it and scores the first ever goal scored against the Toronto Maple Leafs by the Seattle Kraken. Calle Jarnkrok. First ever goal scored against the Kraken, Alexander Kerfoot, who they should have picked and allegedly did pick. Remember we all thought that for a little bit? Anyway, we're barely over 9 minutes into the game, and it's 1-1. Now, overall, things have been going very well for the Leafs in recent months, basically all season. For goodness sakes, they have 30 wins. But if we're looking at the big picture here, you need goaltending, and Jack Campbell, who went to the All-Star game, has not been good for a while. That puck goes in, and you wonder where the rest of them are. But instead, it's the Leafs who turn on the Jets. This goal, fluky as it was to me, is why you believe in this team offensively and why they need to make improvements defensively. This goal right here, fluky as it is, to me, is why you have to upgrade this team before the deadline. Their offense is lethal right now. Puck's behind the Kraken net. Guess what? Matthews and Marner grinding away. Because they have to. They have to. Zach Hyman used to be the guy who did all of that. We keep talking about Michael Bunting as a Hyman replacement, and he will go into the corners. He will do that type of stuff. But what he does in front of the net, he'd be a Zach Hyman replacement if he had the exact same role, and he just doesn't. This line is totally different. Because of their hard work behind the net, it squirts out in front. Michael Bunting whacks at it, it hits the leg, and it ends up in the net. A greasy one, but one. The Leafs take the lead again. And they keep it going. Jamie Oleksiak taking a penalty on Wayne Simmons. Leafs first unit can't get it done on that power play, so they go to the second unit, and some actually pretty nifty passing here. Spezza doing a great job holding the line with Sandin, getting it to Mikheyev in a quick decision. It's back to Sandin, back to Spezza. And the Kraken did their scouting on this one because Spezza does this weird thing on the power play where he shoots! And because you have to fear Jason Spezza's shot, they commit to it, but it's a slap pass into the slot for Michael Bunting. He tips it. Andre Kasha tips it again. 10th goal of the season for the cash man. Give you money for your gold. Oh, yeah. It's 3-1 Leafs after one. Have we done much Russell Oliver in the 15 years I've been doing this? Should do more. If you're confused, Google him. I already told you his name. He's a ridiculous man who buys your jewelry in Toronto. Second period, we'll talk about a tale of two teams. Both the Leafs and Kraken had 8 shots in the second period, but only one of those shots went in. It was for the Leafs. Mitchell Marner scored a goal on the power play, no less, and it's 4-1. And I had a few people tweet at me like, "Oh, 4-1." And no offense, Kraken fans, but I didn't tweet this, so I was smart enough to not tweet it, but I was like, no, I'm confident in this one. I'll explain why in a minute. On January 26th, I tweeted the following. I don't think Marner lacks confidence in his shot. I just think he legitimately enjoys setting teammates up more than scoring. It's not even a knock. It just feels like if he were more selfish, he'd put up 30. Keeping in mind, when I tweeted that, he was already on a 3-game goal streak. Well, la-di-da, his streak snapped, and he picks it right back up. And I tweeted this because, yeah, I don't know, whenever you're right, you should point it out. 8 goals in 8 games since this tweet, including 3 power play goals. He was also 3 games into a goal streak, so it wasn't exactly a wild call. A 37.6 goal pace in an 82-game season, for what it's worth. So yes, Marner was 3 games into a goal-scoring streak when I tweeted that, but I was on to something. So I tweeted that early on in the game on the 26th, so we'll count that. Marner had 4 shots in each of the 3 games that the Leafs had on November 2nd, 4th, and 6th. Over the next 17 games, and granted there was an injury that took him out of the lineup for a little while, but over the next 17 games, Marner hit more than 3 shots twice! Only twice, and it was 4 shots in 17 games! He had just 1 shot 6 times in those 17 games, and a game where he had 0. Starting on January 26th, the night I sent that tweet. 6 shots, 5 shots, 2 shots, 7 shots, 5 shots, 10 shots, 5 shots, 2 shots. 48 shots in an 8-game span, quick math, 6 shots per game for young Mitchell. When I said he needed to be a little bit more selfish, yes. Shoot it! Shoot it, Mitch! You've always been able to. Shoot it! Now, the Kraken, on the other hand, they don't do anything. And, like, I'm not trying to be insulting. Like, the team obviously tries very hard. I think they skate well, and I think they compete. But offensively, they don't do anything. I don't know how accurate this comparison is, but they remind me a little bit of the 15-16 Leafs. That team finished last, by the way. But for a last place team, they actually had the puck a decent amount and did nothing with it. Nothing, not a thing. And Dave Haxtell's crew in Seattle just sort of skates around with it. This game was a great game for Jack Campbell's confidence, and specifically the confidence of Jack Campbell's glove when making harmless saves on shots from barely beyond the blue line, like wristers, like 60-mile-an-hour wristers. Like years ago, we used to hear about like gaming Corsi, and there were teams who would just put the puck on net, and that's how they would try to get their numbers up. And that's not really a thing. It's not at all a thing. And then you watch Haxtell's Kraken, and you go, well, like when I saw the Kraken were getting Yanni Gourde, that is the type of game I thought this team was going to play. That's the type of just nightmarish scenario they were going to threaten teams with every single night. We are going to outwork you, we are going to be in your face, and we are going to crash the net at every turn. Now, we're just going to, kind of take the puck for a nice skate, because, it's fun to take the puck out for a skate, and, you feel good about it, and, the puck is very tired afterwards, and you give it a treat, and then it goes for a little nap. But wait a sec, I'm talking about a dog! That's not how pucks work! Seattle Kraken fans, here's how you know things are bad for the Kraken offensively. I'm a Toronto Maple Leafs fan. At any given moment, myself and many other Leaf fans are terrified the Leafs are going to blow a lead. 3-1 lead, a 4-1 lead, doesn't matter. They got a 3-1 lead early in this game, and for you were probably like, gosh, we don't like being in this position, and Leaf fans thought the same thing. Because we don't! We regularly see that position stink! Wasn't worried for a second. Nope. In the third period, Marner's out there recreating goals that he scored in junior. Sorry, goals that he set up. See how he tricks you? Partial break on the penalty kill. He just drops it for David Kampf, who bashes it in and almost breaks his arm in the process. Are you okay? He's okay. The one glimmer of hope offensively for the Kraken was Jared. It did have to be Jared McCann, didn't it? Didn't it? Jared McCann scores a power play goal. I didn't like that, but I did. It was fun. And with less than 2 minutes to go, Jake Muzzin blasts it for the exclamation mark. Nice to see him get one, especially after maybe coming out of the game earlier. And the Leafs pick up their first win in Seattle. Questions? Just say Lauris Darzinch and we'll be good. Lauris Darzinch. Did I do it? Seattle questions, please. How come staying up for the whole 9 p.m. game feels like being a kid trying to stay up for New Year's? Am I just getting old? No. Yeah, no, you're just getting old. Please say one good thing about how the Kraken played tonight. We need the morale boost. You watched the rest of this video too? Okay, you can be confident the goaltending will never be worse. You have some brilliant pieces. I mean, Jared McCann. But you'd be amazed how fast turnarounds happen once your team adds a special player, and I think that could be coming in the near future for the Kraken. Only bummer is it'll probably happen in the draft, but I think it's coming. What do you think of our goalies? Specifically, it feels like there's like a lack of trust almost. Like, not just in the team, in the goaltending, but like a lack of trust from Grubauer to the defenseman in front of him, if that makes sense. He's moving way too much. These days, the best goalies are like stoic, except like with the exception of Andrei Vasilevsky, who's a mutant. He can be both. But typically, the best goalies don't move nearly as much as Grubauer does. Ooh, I like this. Canada versus USA for gold. Who wins? So, gold medal game, women's hockey, Canada versus the US. Obviously, I have Canada, but that's not just because I'm Canadian. It's because I think they're the best team, because they are. Now, that doesn't mean they have to win. Just because a team is favored to win doesn't mean a thing. Because, much like the Super Bowl halftime show, it's one shot, one opportunity. But if on Wednesday it's tied in the third period and you see the puck on Marie-Philippe Poulin's stick, it's curtains. That is the Grim Reaper on skates. And she's Canadian. If the Grim Reaper, apologized and was bashful, oh, sorry I killed you. Anyway, on that alarming note, that is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell your friends. Seattle Kraken fans, welcome.